How's it going, Knife Fanatics? I was just on my way to the store, and on the way down the driveway I got an email that a Whatnot delivery was delivered, and I just can't wait. I got to look at it now, so I'm just going to lay it right here on the tailgate. We're going to cut this thing open and look at it. I'm really excited to see this one and see what you guys think about it. So let's get this thing open. Here is the box. I don't have my tripod with me. Obviously, I was just going to the store, so I wasn't really planning on this, but so I'll cut this open and get it pulled out, and then I'll show you guys what we got. All right, guys, I got it pulled out of the box. They got it wrapped up pretty good. Now, this was a show I came across. It was from what I could gather from them talking, it seemed like it was a woman and her mother was running the show together, and I guess over the years her mother had bought a lot of stuff from auctions, but she wasn't a knife collector. And man, some of the knives, I mean, they had beautiful collector's edition case knives that were going for stupid cheap. They was running them, you know, at, I wouldn't even say the bare minimum price to, I mean, they were running them for, I mean, they were giving them away, and it was just, you know, whatever people bid on them up to. I saw a collector's USMC Marine case in the velvet box and everything go for 36 bucks. I mean, it was crazy. And they had, I mean, John Wayne collector's cases, Gerber USA. I mean, it was just, they had amazing stuff, and it was going for super cheap. And unfortunately, I didn't have the money to buy much. I did bid on this one. Now, this one here, I really don't know for sure what it is. I couldn't see on screen very good. I could just tell that it was definitely old. And I was like, heck with it. You know, it was a good show, and I wanted to support them, and I just thought this was a cool looking piece. Like I said, I couldn't see it very good, so I hope it's not like broken, and I couldn't really tell as far as like what maker that it's from. So we're going to kind of find out here together. Let's just look at it and see what we got here. Let me get, and you guys let me know what you think. You can see by that handle right there, it's an old one. Let's see if we can get it out. Yeah, look at that. Now, I'm assuming when I first seen it, I thought World War II. It potentially could be older than World War II looking at it in person. I'm not sure. Let's get it out of the sheath here. See if we can't find a maker's mark or something on it to identify it a little better. Some of you historians out there probably already know what it is. I'm not super good. I mean, I can recognize, you know, kind of the time periods and stuff, but you know, I'm not as sharp on it just looking at it and knowing for sure. So I'll have to do a little research on this one. We got on it. If you guys can see that. Anyway, I just thought it was cool, and I paid, you know, 60 bucks for it. I thought, you know, something that's old is, you know, and it appeared to be in good shape. You know, it's worth that to me. So you guys let me know how I did. But I'm going to, I got to go to the store, like I said, and I'm going to research this. And I don't know if I'll just post this section, or maybe I'll just wait and do some more research and then cut you guys back on when I get from the store. But anyway, I just couldn't stand it. I had to look at it now, so we just opened it on the tailgate here, and I'm excited for it, guys. You let me know how I did. All right, guys, it's actually been a few days since I filmed the first part of this video. Try to get this light a little better here. But so yeah, I've since then I have done a little more research on this thing, and found out what we actually have. And I think in the first part of this video, which was a few days ago now, I think I said I paid 60 bucks. And I did bid 60. I remember specifically bidding 60. But what the seller done was she had mentioned throughout the show while I was watching that whatever it cost to ship, you know, where Whatnot automatically puts the shipping on there or whatever. If it doesn't actually cost her that to ship it, she'd refund you that. And so that's what she done. She refunded like $10 on the shipping and made this 50, because I remember specifically bidding 60, but only got charged 50. So that's must have been what she done. She must have refunded the 10 on shipping. So that was really awesome. I said, guys, that was a really awesome Whatnot show. You guys definitely need to go follow them. Mad Duo on Whatnot. I don't know how much more knives they have. I watched, they did a show on Saturday, and they ran a few knives, but it was a lot. They was doing a lot of clothes. So I don't know if they are if they have sold a lot of the knife collection that her mother had. What I had gathered, that her mother had collected a lot of it over the years at auctions and stuff. But it was some amazing pieces going for just dirt cheap. And this thing right here, guys, no one bid on it. I couldn't believe it. I don't know why. You know, the case stuff, of course, was getting bid on, and even the case stuff was going cheap, really cheap for what it was, collector's edition case stuff. But she put this up, and I wasn't going to bid on it. I really didn't have the money to throw at it. But I watched it, and she put, you know, she started at $60, and I'll let the timer get close to running out, and no one was bidding. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to let, and you know, I didn't even know what it was for sure. It was in the sheath, kind of like this, about like that much is really all you could see on the camera. And I just, you know, obviously, it's obvious this is, you know, World War II, or potentially older, for, you know, I couldn't really tell. I was like, there's no way I'm letting that pass for $60. So I bid on it, and no one else bid, and I got it. And I'm super glad that I did. The sheath is awesome shape. This thing is in really, really good shape overall. And let's get it out of the sheath and talk about what we have here. Like I said, I'm sure some of you military collectors already know what it was from that first little clip, but I didn't. I wasn't sure. I knew it was, you know, an old military bayonet, obviously, but I didn't know, you know, for what rifle or for what country. And like I said, I've been researching a little bit, and now we know. So it is a CSZ, and then J on the bottom, if you guys can see that. CSZJ. So this is a Czech-made, you know, Czech Republic. I guess back then was it still called just Czechoslovakia? I'm not sure. You guys can let me know. But, you know, it's Czech-made. And it is made for the VZ-24 Mauser, which is basically just a variant of the Gewehr 98 Mauser. The cutting edge on these, you can tell on camera, the cutting edge, this is actually the way that this would be right side up. So the cutting edge is actually on the top of the bayonet, which is a pretty cool design. And from what I could read, guys, on trying to get a date on this, so from what I read, up to 1937, I forget the year that they first started production, but anyway, up to 1937, the Tang, the marking was on this side, and then in 38, they switched it to this side. You see that there, the CSZ. Okay, so they switched it to this side, and then what the guy was saying on the article that I was reading, he said that you know, of course, when Germany took control in 39, excuse me, I'm kind of stopped up. He said when Germany took control in 39, they seized all of the you know, of course, all the firearms, the firearm manufacturing facilities, and they issued all of the made weapons to German troops. But he said before issue, for whatever reason, they was grinding off the muzzle rings of these. Now this one obviously is still intact, so I don't know if that has any significance as to, you know, whether this was issued to a German troop or not. I don't know if it was like a mandatory thing, like all of them were ground off, or just some of them were. It didn't really specify. He just said, you know, before issue, a lot of times the muzzle ring was ground off. So I'm not sure if that would be an indicator. Someone out there that knows for sure of how to maybe you know, date it or maybe not necessarily date it, but just kind of get a guesstimation, if you will, of its history, of where it went. It's obviously definitely been used, so I don't know. But then he said, assuming that this is accurate information, this is just what, and on one of the forums, it was showing pictures of one that he had. And anyway, then he said shortly after they took control of the manufacturing facilities, the Germans just had the muzzle rings removed in the manufacturing process completely. And so I assume it was just, probably faster and cheaper, and it fits the VZ-24 and the K98K with or without the muzzle ring. This will work on either rifle, so it's probably just a speed and cost thing. So that would indicate to me, if that is true, that this was definitely made in that early sometime in 1938 to really early 39. I mean, he said the date of when they switched it wasn't for sure, but it was probably like roughly within a year or two of them having control. So maybe this could be up to, 40 or 41 at the latest, probably, before they switched the muzzle rings being on them, completely. So, so it was definitely made and, there in the time of German occupation in Czechoslovakia. So, it'd be hard to imagine that this was not issued to a German soldier. I really, can't say for sure, since with the muzzle ring thing not being, he said, before issue they were ground off, so I'm not really sure. If anyone, like I say, if anyone out there knows for sure, definitely comment and help me on that, as far as getting a little better, as far as just a rough guess of the life that this thing led. If only it could talk, right? But anyway, that was what I had gathered on trying to date it and stuff, just different things that I had read, and of course about the letterings here under the tang stamp. On these tang stamps, as far as the different letters and now on these tang stamps, as far as the different letter designations that were stamped under the CSZ, there was some conflicting information online. The original post that I was reading from the guy that was giving all the information was saying that these letters, there was no real record as far as what they meant or why they were added. He said he was just guessing that it was probably like different batch runs or something like that. But then someone chimed in the comment section and said, no, this is not unknown. These different letters were for were designations, for specific things. And then he had a huge long list of all the different stamps on there, of all the different combinations that were stamped on them. And I screenshotted it so I would have it in case I come across any more. And then I'll scroll down through there till I found the J stamp, and he said that the J stamp was for he called it the Riding Regiment. Now, when I tried to look up, just like World War II German, Riding Regiment or whatever, it wasn't really pulling much up. Now, I do know, obviously, in World War II, horses played a major role in World War II, obviously, as far as, logistically. There were places, that it wasn't feasible for the equipment back then to get other than, through horses. Horses are, of course, the ultimate four-wheel drive. So, I know hundreds of, if not millions of horses were used in World War II. My grandfather was actually part of, or not my grandfather, my great-grandfather was actually part of the a horse team in World War One. That's what he did. Was in charge of one of those. I guess you would call it like a logistics horse team in World War One. So you know, obviously in World War One, you know, even in battle, you know, horses were much more prevalent than in World War Two as far as like a mounted, you know, fighting cavalry unit. So I don't know what the riding regiment means. If someone out there has more information on that, please chime in on that and let me know. I wasn't finding much. It could have just been maybe the way I was going about wording it or whatever. But so if you know for sure or can point me into a direction to find out more about these stamps, what that indicated, if that was in fact a like a regiment designation that it was issued to, you know, chime in and let me know. He was also saying, that guy that commented about that was saying the serial numbers. This one is 805 stamped on the back of this one. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that there should be a rifle out there, whichever rifle this was paired up with, would also have been stamped with the same serial number, and it would have matched. And then that was supposedly the regiment stamp of what regiment it was issued to. So I'm not sure. Anyway, if anyone knows, comment, let me know for sure. But for 50 bucks, guys, I think this was an absolute amazing deal. You guys comment and let me know what you think about it. Would you have jumped on it? Well, which technically I bid 60, but like I said, she refunded me 10 bucks. So for 60, for the bid of 60, would you guys have jumped on it or not? Did I make a good deal or a bad deal here? I think this was a great deal, and I couldn't believe no one else bid on it. And I don't know if I can get this to focus for you guys. This thing has definitely been used. It's just hard to imagine where this thing was carried, who it was carried by. I mean, you can see the tip. It has been, that tip has been used, guys. I don't know if that's showing all the little marks, little, I wouldn't necessarily say chips, kind of like chips though. It's not like deep chips, but you know, just little gouges you get from hitting stuff, you know. I don't know if maybe, you know, who knows, someone could have used it as a machete over the years even, you know, it would work for that. Say it's been floating around out there for a long time, could have been used for anything, you know, after wartime. So, but it's definitely been used. I would think it's definitely safe to say it was probably used on, you know, battlefields somewhere. No doubt. Awesome. Awesome. If only it could tell you, right? The handle's in pretty good shape too. I mean, it's, you know, relative. I mean, it's technically, I guess it's rough, but it's not, you know, broken and falling off. It's in pretty good shape, really. It's not bad. We got a little rust and stuff on here. I did wipe it down good with some oil, but I need to clean it up a little better, get this rust off of it. Just a really cool piece. Now, the one guy did show a picture. I need to go back on that forum and screenshot that and save it so I'll have it. I thought it was just cool. It was a German soldier with one of these tucked into his belt. It's a pretty cool picture. A little black and white picture. Just a really cool piece. You guys, please comment. Anyone out there that has more information about these, especially, like I said, with that, the J stamp on that. You know, if you know for sure what it stood for, or have, you know, some kind of reading material you can point me into the direction of, and I can research it further. Absolutely. And if you have a, you know, historian friend out there that loves this kind of stuff, you know, send this video to them. Let them watch it, and then they can chime in and let me know. Because, say, I don't know, you know, I'm not a historian by any means. I love history, and I love this kind of stuff, but I'm not read up on it enough to where I can just look at something and know. You know, I don't have all that kind of stuff memorized. So like I say, on this, I wasn't even sure for sure what country it was made for, from what I could just see on the camera, you know, so I had to look it up. I wasn't sure what the CSZ was when I got it, you know. So depending on how things go, I may be willing to I don't know, I shouldn't say it. I was going to say I may be willing to trade this thing, or even sell it to one of you guys out there, but I don't know. I really do like it, but if the right deal came along, I may be willing to trade it for something. You guys let me know what you think it's worth in the condition that it's in. Ones I have looked up, and there's not really that many of the I don't know if, I don't really know what the J means. When you look up CSG and you try to find one with the J stamp, I only found one other one that was for sale. It was a very similar condition. The wood handle on it may have been a little better, but it was $224 on eBay. Now, that's just someone's asking price. Will it actually sell for that? I don't know. You guys let me know if you're active in this market and constantly buying and trading, you know, this kind of stuff, bayonets. Let me know what you think a fair, you know, market value is of it today. I think I did very well for 50 bucks. And yeah, give me an idea what you guys think it would be worth if you know, trade value, if I was to trade it, or even just sell it outright. What do you guys, if it was yours, what do you think you'd have to have out of it? I'm curious. You guys let me know. But I don't know, I really do love it. This would really look good with some of my grandpa's World War II stuff. I need to do some more, and I will do some more videos on, I've got some really cool pieces. I did show the Japanese little military issue pocket knife he brought home. If you guys haven't seen that, that's on the channel. Go back and watch that. That is a really cool, rare piece that you just don't see much. But I've also got some pretty unique, pretty cool other items that he brought home that are, one is much, I don't even know if I get it on camera. It's much longer. You guys can kind of guess what that might be. It's a very long blade. So anyway, I will be making some more of those videos if anyone is interested in seeing that kind of stuff. I got some pretty cool pieces that he brought back with him from World War II. And appreciate you guys for watching. And this thing right here would look really good in the display case with that, so I may not be able to let it go. I don't know. Like I said, I really didn't have the money to throw at it when I first bought it. I kind of justified it by saying, well, I could easily double my money, if not more. But I don't know, guys. It's just, that's that knife fanatic. That's why I call us knife fanatics. Anyone that's like me or follows my channel, that's why I call you knife fanatics. We just can't help it. We love everyone that we touch. And so I don't know if I'd be able to let go of it or not, but right deal come along, I may. Hard to say. This would look really good in display case though, with that other blade that I mentioned. And if you guys are interested in seeing what that is and some of his other stuff, please comment, like, let me know. If you know, obviously if the video doesn't do any good, there's no point in showing any more of this kind of stuff. So you guys hit the like, share it, comment, let me know. But appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you on the next one.